So we're going to look at evaluating an extract from a letter by Charles Dickens, and this is for GCSE English reading skills, and we're particularly looking at AO4, evaluate text critically and support with textual references. The writer Charles Dickens wrote this letter to his daughter to inform her about his literary reading tour. He was touring and they were gathering audiences for him to read his work. This is a shortened, edited version of a copyright-free letter from 1858. Let's read this letter and then try the evaluation question, paper 1, question 6. And remember that the real question 6 will use a longer text and you'll need to refer to the whole text. This is the question that we're going to answer. This letter really convinces the reader of Dickens' love for his family. Based on your evaluation of the text, how far do you agree with the statement? Some phrases in the letter that might be tricky, because remember it is from the 1800s. In a very poor condition means that he's feeling unwell. Never left off raining means that it rained constantly or continuously. I fear I should not be able to means I'm worried I won't be able to. And you won't expect me till you see me means don't wait around for me. I don't know when I'm going to be back. Royal Hotel, Derby, Friday, October the 22nd, 1858. My dearest Mamie, I am writing in a very poor condition. I have a bad cold all over me, pains in my back and limbs, and a very sensitive and uncomfortable throat. There was a great draught up some stone steps near me last night, and I dare say that caused it. The weather on my first 2 nights at Birmingham was so intolerably bad. It blew hard and never left off raining for one single moment. Coming to London in the night of tomorrow, Saturday, and having to see Mr. Overy on Sunday, and having to start for York early on Monday, I fear I should not be able to get to Gad's Hill at all. And we can see at the bottom in the glossary, Gad's Hill was his home. You won't expect me till you see me. Arthur and I have considered Plornish's joke in all the immense number of aspects in which it presents itself to reflective minds. And by reflective minds, people who think deeply. So he's thinking about a joke that she's told him his son made, and they've considered the joke. We have come to the conclusion it is the best joke ever made. Give the dear boy my love, and the same to Georgie, and the same to Katie, and take the same yourself. Ever, my dearest Marnie, your most affectionate father. So it's always worth pausing and then rereading this again in the light of some of these tricky words. So intolerably bad, meaning extremely bad. Gad's Hill being returning to his own home. Reflective minds being people that think deeply. A draught being a cold air. Stone steps, steps made of stone. And dare say means I guess or I think. So pause the video and have another read and just check for your understanding. It's often worth reading each clause at a time rather than trying to read the whole sentence at once. Okay, so I've just highlighted what I think would be good quotes in order for me to answer this question. I'm going to highlight at least 3 or 4 key quotes that answer the question, is this showing, is this convincing of Dickens' love for his family? And so I'm thinking, remember, about the reader, and I'm thinking about my own views and opinions on whether this would convince the reader, and if it convinces me, myself, and I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to find 3 or 4 quotes, I'm going to explain them, and then I'm going to evaluate in the light of the statement that this letter convinces the reader of his love for his family. So it's going to be your turn. I'm going to show you the question. You can pause the video and write it down, and then I'm going to re-show you the text and pause, and you're going to time yourself for about 20 minutes to have a go at this question. So this is the question that you're going to answer. Somebody has said this letter really convinces the reader of Dickens' love for his family. Based on your evaluation of the text, how far do you agree with this statement? So we need to evaluate the text and then the statement in light of the evaluation that you've made. Okay, so pause, write it down. Now go team, it's your turn. These are the quotes I would use, but remember you can say yes or you can say no, but you need to choose quotes that you can really use to answer the question. Pause the video. Give yourself 15, 20, and if you need it, 25 minutes. If this is one of the first times you're doing it, give yourself extra, but no more than 25 minutes, and have a really good go at this question. Okay. I'm going to show you an example answer on the next page. Here's one that I did earlier. From the beginning, now remember you need to show the whole text. We need to show that we've read the whole text. Sometimes the text changes from the beginning through to the end, so it does something different from the beginning through to the end. From the beginning of the text, the writer expresses his love for his family, with the noun phrase, my dearest Marmee, being repeated. He's showing his affection towards her. And, as a reader, I agree with the opinion, as this convinces of his clear love for his family, using the word dearest. So you can see I've highlighted as well where I'm trying to start to get evaluative in blue. In the main part of the letter, Dickens passes on small details of his time away. This could suggest he is keen to stay close to his family when they aren't there. When he shares details of his cold, painful and uncomfortable throat, this shows me that he's close to his family and is seeking empathy by telling them these details. When he says he's considered his child's joke with his friend to be the best joke ever made, Dickens shows the reader his bias towards his own child. Because he and another adult thought hard about the joke, this shows the reader how much pride he has in his children. This makes me feel a warmth that comes through. I am persuaded of his love for his children, and, as a reader, I am sure that it was felt by them. When Dickens states, give the dear boy my love, this explicitly instructs his daughter to share his affection, and the lengthy instruction for this to be given to all the children convinces me as a reader of the truth of his affection. I'm convinced he is the most affectionate father he signs the letter off as. Now, we could go into more detail, we could pick out other things, but for me, timing was important and I wanted to time myself, so I gave myself 20 minutes to do this, and this is what I came up with in the 20 minutes. So again, you could have come up with different things. It's as long as you are finding your examples and your explanations match, and that you are then evaluating in light of the statement. If we were to go over and improve my answer, I've said I agree with the opinion this convinces of his love for his family. I think in the rest of this answer, that's implicit. I don't return to the statement. I think it might be good that I could come back and return to the statement again by the end and just say, so my evaluation, completely agrees with this statement that he is a loving family man. And that's it. I'm going to pause there. We're going to have plenty of goes at this, but really, really well done. Keep up the reading and keep up the really good work.